Moved closer and I caught the glint of his pale eyes in the moonlight. The night cast eerie shadows across his pale face, and I suddenly found myself swallowing nervously as I remembered my goofy neighbor was, in fact, a vampire. "Are you okay? I saw you walking to the woods, but you didn't answer when I called out." He set a cold hand on my shoulder and looked down at me, concerned. "You seemed a little distracted." That voice in my sleep must have been Elliot. "I'm okay, I think." "Your face, though, I'm sorry. It's really fine. Something like this won't even leave a mark." "I'm really sorry. I didn't realize anyone was behind me." He released my shoulder and rubbed the back of his neck. "It's okay, though I have to say, you hit pretty hard for— If you say for a girl, I am going to hit you again." "I was going to say for someone so small?" I punched him on the arm. "Ow!" He laughed and rubbed his shoulder. The smile quickly faded as he studied me again. His expression was uncharacteristically serious. "You shouldn't be outside alone at this time of night, though." He's not going to ask why I'm out here in the first place? I wouldn't have had a coherent answer anyway, but it was odd that he wasn't curious. Then again, he was outside too. Maybe this was typical cryptic behavior. They're called cryptics. Right. It's all coming back to me. I understand. I should just go back inside. It's probably a good idea. It's not really safe out here this time of year. Especially when you're running around in your pajamas. Yeah, that's also a bit, His eyes traveled over my mostly bare shoulders, my neck. I reached up self-consciously to adjust the thin straps of my pajama top. Why is he staring like that? His lips parted again, but he didn't say anything. I suddenly remembered every single vampire movie that I had ever seen, the ones where just the sight of a bare neck could send a vampire into a frenzy. Don't tell me he's... Amber? My heart lodged in my throat as he took a step toward me. This is bad. Without thinking, I stepped back. He came even closer, his eyes dripping a little lower. Oh god. Should I scream? You're cold, right? Cold? Cold? I crossed my arms over my chest and narrowed my eyes, suddenly worried for an entirely different reason. "Here, let me..." He wasn't planning to bite me. Part of me wanted to hit him again just for scaring me. Or for staring. Maybe both. He started to pull off his hoodie. Hang on. I watched him struggle to pull one of his arms through the sleeve. It looked like something had gotten caught in the fabric. My bracelet... It's okay, I can just... No, I mean, just hang on one sec. He has a zip-up. Why is he trying to... I can't believe I was actually scared there for a second. This is just Elliot after all. Red World. Aw, look at it. Aha! He finally pulled his arm free and wrapped the hoodie tightly around my shoulders, holding it closed at the neck. That's better, right? I appreciate the gesture, but you don't have to give me this. No, I definitely think you need it. I mean, it's really cold, right? You were rubbing your arms and stuff. Our eyes met, and he looked away quickly. I couldn't see it in the dark, but I was betting he was bright red. And stuff, huh? I held the hoodie tightly closed at the neck, making sure it covered the front well so Elliot wouldn't have to be embarrassed about stuff anymore. Thank you. Hey, I'm really sorry if I interrupted whatever you were doing. I was just worried because you didn't have shoes and it can be dangerous nights, so I followed you. Not that I was trying to stalk you or be creepy. I mean, I was just worried. Don't worry about it. You really didn't interrupt anything. I glanced up toward the houses. I should probably be heading back inside, but I couldn't go back up the narrow path because Elliot was blocking the way. So I guess I'll just head back now. Right, sorry. Elliot stepped to the side, rubbing the back of his neck. I moved past him carefully and started back up the slope to the backyard. He followed right behind me silently, making me feel both awkward and self-conscious. Fortunately, I had my frozen feet to distract me. My toes were stinging with each step. I was really lucky Elliot had stuffed me before I'd gotten far. It was pretty amazing what the body could apparently ignore while asleep, like freezing pine needles and dead leaves jabbing into the fleshy parts of my feet. How could I possibly get so far without that waking me? How I could possibly get so far without that waking me up was beyond me. My foot suddenly hit a patch of... Oh no, I'm distracted. Hold on. Oof. My foot suddenly hit a patch of wet leaves. It slipped right out from under me and down I went. Watch out! His arms were suddenly around my waist, keeping me from face-planting on the cold ground. I stood there, breathing heavily for a minute as I tried to regain my footing. Jeez, this is not my night. You okay? Yeah, it's just a bit slippery. Too many wet leaves on the path. He helped me right myself before releasing me. You okay now? Yeah. Nice reflexes. Well, I am a vampire after all. In the distance, a loud howl suddenly went up, startling us both. I very nearly jumped right back into his arms. Holy crap, is that a wolf? It didn't sound remotely like a coyote. Probably. Danny aside, there are several werewolf clans in the area. Saying of which, where is Danny? You two are usually together. Full moon. I glanced overhead where it was shining brightly. I hadn't even thought about that. Man, I was really standing outside in my pajamas, talking to my vampire neighbor about my werewolf neighbor howling in the distance. This is my life now. What the actual heck? Yeah, he tends to wander pretty far away from the neighborhood to avoid being seen. A huge wolf in these woods would definitely cause a stir. He wouldn't want to start any weird rumors, for sure. That's probably true. But it was freezing cold, and Danny was apparently wandering miles from home by himself. That was just sad. Must be lonely. Yeah, I think it is. I hang out with him sometimes, but he doesn't really like people seeing him like that. Even me. I didn't know what to say to that, really. He walked me the rest of the way to the back gate. I was careful not to attempt to faceplant on the path again. I set my hand on the latch and turned to him, giving him a sheepish smile. I'm really sorry I hit you. No, it's okay, really. Totally. It's totally okay, really. I wanted to thank him for stopping me before I got into the woods, too, but if I did that, he'd know something wasn't right. Thank him anyway. I decided to thank him anyway. If he hadn't stopped me, who knows where I'd have ended up. Thank you for... He covered up my lips with his fingers before I could finish. It's fine. I'm not that cold anyway. Don't worry about it. You can give it back to me tomorrow. Give it back? Oh. He thought I was about to thank him for the hoodie. Fine then. I'd just leave it at that. Okay. Well, thanks anyway. I said it's fine. Okay. So, good night? Yeah, good night. I let myself back in the gate and stole quietly across the backyard to the house. I looked back once and Elliot was still watching. It wasn't until Well, why would you do that, huh? Default, as if my default isn't what it's set to right now. Now you can hear me. I want this. Well. Hello. This is the most annoying. Alright, so. I am going to be streaming until I don't want to anymore, which might very well be soon, not gonna lie. But first, we have to pull up the email. No, we don't, because I downloaded everything, so I can just pull all my monologues up directly in PDFs. That, well, okay, fuck me, I guess. Oh my gosh. Can I just click on these and it'll open? Yes, I can. Bam. Monologues. How many of these have I got? What does it say screenshot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 monologues to decide between. So basically, I have an audition on Friday for the spring play. We're doing Clue, and for the audition, I need to have a comedic monologue prepared. And I'm gonna double check the requirements to make sure there aren't any like time constraints or whatever. I get a lot of emails. No, these are slides, but I could just pull up my email on my computer. I don't know why I had to look at my phone. There's also an email with some sides that I should look at for the audition as well. That's not. There we go. Well, now I have to look for it again. Switch your ribbon. Okay, thanks, Outlook. I don't care. Oh, I should look at that as well. There's a lot of things that I should look at, actually. Oh, good. I can't open it in a new tab. Oh, that's so great. I love that. Well. I will download this. Why is it? Okay. Oh, good. It's horizontal. That's wonderful. I love that. Not horizontal. It was. What's the word? Positioned? No, it was oriented the wrong way. Monsieur. Sorry, I didn't know. I've never actually seen Clue before. Like, I've never seen the movie, or the play. But I have the script for the play that I got, like, freshman year of high school. But I don't have it with me, and I haven't read it in a while since I got it, I think. So, oh well. Let's look at these. Oh yeah, I was looking for requirements, though. Let's see, what else? Here we go. Oh, I've had it flagged. I should have just... Sign-up sheets. In order to audition, they will take place in person. Okay, so it has to be 60 to 90 seconds. So I do have to time myself, which is a little extra work, but we'll figure it out. Great. Awesome. Cool. Character breakdown. Oh, I need that as well. Oh, of course it opens in Word. Oh my goodness. No, not you. Because it couldn't have been a PDF. It's not even, it's like, doesn't even fill the whole page. That's so, I could put my page at 50% and I will still see everything that's on there. That's so cool. Cast of characters. Wadsworth, a traditional British butler in every sense, uptight, formal, and by the book. He is the driving force in the play. Yvette. It's Yvette. A loyal and sexy French maid. Miss Scarlet, a dry, sardonic DC madam, more interested in secrets than sex. As an asexual? Mrs. Peacock, the wealthy wife of a senator, a bit batty, neurotic, and quick to hysteria. Mrs. White, a pale, morbid, and tragic woman. Mrs. White may or may not be the murderer of her 5 ex-husbands. Colonel Mustard, a puffy, pompous, dense blowhard of a military man. Professor Plum, an arrogant academic, easily impressed by himself. Mr. Green, a timid yet officious rule follower. He's awfully anxious. Ensemble woman. The cook, a gruff woman with a threatening presence, alive and dead. Singing telegram girl, a tap dancer with a heart of gold, alive and dead. Auxiliary Scarlet, the back of Miss Scarlet during a scene of theatrical trickery. Backup cop, backup for the chief in the very final cop entrance. And then there are 2 ensemble men. Ensemble Man 1, Mr. Body, a slick Frank Sinatra film noir-esque type fella, alive and dead. The motorist, a professional driver, alive and dead. Chief of police, a cop who helps to save the day. Ensemble Man 2, the unexpected cop, a regular Joe, alive and dead. Backup cop, backup for the chief. Auxiliary Mustard, the back of Colonel Mustard during a scene of theatrical trickery. Interesting. I wish I read the play. Okay. And then the sides. So the first one is between Wadsworth and Yvette and the cook. Second one is between Wadsworth, everyone ad-libbing, Mustard, the cook, Peacock, Green, Scarlet. So yeah, the second one has everyone. All the main people, at least. Oh, it's a long one too. Oh wow, that's a long one. Then Green, Peacock, Scarlet, Mustard, Wadsworth, Plum. So I think that one has everyone as well. And it's also a very long one. Okay, yeah. Woo! That'll be a fun show. Monologue, because I have to make sure it's between 60 and 90 seconds. Okay, the first one is from All This Intimacy by Rajiv Joseph. I'll just read them. Okay, sorry. Ty, I wasn't going to bring this up today, but seeing as you have laryngitis, I figured this might be the best time for a conversation. Because any inclination you may have to interrupt me, well, that just won't be possible because you can't speak. Oh well. Okay, just sit still for a second and let me speak before you start scribbling away like a madman. Jeez, I knew you'd do this or something. Just sit there and let me say my piece. Listen. Okay. Ty. So as you know, as we both well know, there has never been a time in my life when I haven't been, in school. Let me finish. You know I don't like... Oh, she's reading. You know I don't like that word. It's rude. I can't believe you have laryngitis and you're still interrupting me. Constantly. Look, I'm going to talk and you can listen or not listen, but... No, I don't want to order pizza. I'm not staying for dinner. Break up, okay? Break up. Me. Break up with you. How about that? Oh, this has never happened to Ty Green before because he's so smooth and no one can ever get in 2 words and edgewise. Don't look at me like that. Don't act so heartbroken. It's not you. I just never feel we're on the same page. This is what I'm talking about, Ty. I'm trying to pull things together. I love you, but when I'm around you, things come apart. They come apart. I'm gonna swap my windows. There we go. So now I will be looking more at the camera when I read these. This next one is Augustine's Confession, Scenes from an American Life. The context is Nicole and Jane are having a coffee, Jane is grieving the death of her friend, and Nicole is commiserating. And then it says, note, Nicole is a very sensitive soul, in all caps, and prides herself on it, and loves explaining her sensitivity. So I am Nicole. I wonder if there have been studies done on this topic. I'm so interested in statistics and studies. I love people, how their minds work. I wish I could be a brain cell for one day in Albert Schweitzer's brain. You were telling me about your friend that died? Oh my god, who was it? Did I know him? Of course, I'm assuming it's him. Oh my god. If I knew him, I would be so devastated. Early death hurts me so deeply. I'm, of course, assuming he was young. It's so unfair. Who was it? Neely O'Hara, Valley of the Dolls. I love that movie. Isn't it sad about Sharon Tate? I'm still freaked out. No, I don't know a Neil. I don't like that name. Did I ever meet him? What is wrong with... Man, it's tough luck being a Neil. Like, I don't think this is from the same play. But I don't even think it's by the same person. But I have another monologue where the character just, like, berates people named Neil. What the fuck is up with the name Neil? Why don't people like the name Neil? No, I don't know a Neil. I don't like that name. Did I ever meet him? I did? I met that man that died at the Martha Stewart opening. Was he that short gay guy? The one that arranged her table and made that beautiful mousse in the fish mold? I wanted to find out how he made that. Now we never will. God, 60. God. Life is so weird. It just goes to show how you can be here one day and gone the next. And how, like, you really should appreciate people when they're here. And how if you want a recipe, you should get it when you have the impulse. Like that same night, I should have followed my psychic impulse to ask for the recipe, but I didn't. I'm so freaked out. My astrologer tells me I'm very psychic, more than most people, and that I should listen to that voice. I'm a Pisces with Gemini rising, so I'm very intuitive. So, Jane, did you pick music for the funeral? Well, I love jazz. A little silly, little long. This one is from Completeness by Itamar Moses. Molly, a graduate student in molecular biology, is conflicted about her feelings for Elliot, a graduate student in computer science and her supposed boyfriend. This is what it's like. It's like you walk off down the road, and you think you're making all this progress, and then you stop and look down, and you're like, oh, he is the road. And so then the question becomes, what am I supposed to do? Like, does that mean I shouldn't try again, or that I definitely should, like, right away? Like, is waiting the answer, or is it the problem? Because the answer is not waiting. And if I don't know, then how am I supposed to tell somebody else I want to be with him and mean it? And if I do like someone, and if that makes me forget my sadness for a while, then does that mean that guy makes me happy? Or does that just mean that once that fades, once he's not useful anymore for, like, masking or replacing all my pain, then nothing will be left except this guy who, through no fault of his own, will just be, like, repellent to me now, because he's just this other thing with all of its own crap to deal with. Just this extra burden on what this is... Is this supposed to be comedic? Oh. Okay, what's this one? Okay, this is another one from Eigengrau, which I have, and it's also Rose. So that's the only other comedic monologue I have is it's the one where she doesn't like the name Neil. But this is from a different part, it looks like, because it's different. I'm sorry I hit you, but you were being hysterical and I needed to do something, okay? I know you think that you're doing the right thing by trying to help me, and I do believe that we are kindred spirits, or maybe could be one day, but sometimes you get so eaten up by negativity and cynicism, and if I let that infiltrate my boundaries, that could be very damaging. Cassie, okay, sometimes things are all or nothing, and this is all. It has to be all. And you're always trying to tell me that it's nothing, but it's not nothing, right? It's never been nothing. It's something that I'm passionate about and I believe in, and you of all people should understand that. You're so good with the things that you're passionate about, so strong and fiery. You fight and you fight and you never give up, and I admire that, see? And I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna make things happen, because I know that if I try hard enough, that Mark will love me. And I want you to be proud of me, because look at me. I'm standing up for what I believe in. I'm refusing to submit. I'm being a feminist. Cassie wants Rose to be a feminist. That's the context. Oh, this one's really short. Oh, it's from How I Learned to Drive by Paula Vogel. Having just been belittled by her grandfather for her interest in Shakespeare, Little Bit jumps to her name's Little Bit jumps to her feet and gets the last word. Note, although the character age here is 16, the actor must play Little Bit as an adult elsewhere in the play. Therefore, it is likely an older actor is playing 16. You're getting old, Big Papa. You're going to die very, very soon. Maybe even tonight. And when you get to heaven, God's going to be a beautiful black woman in a long white robe. She's going to look at your chart and say, uh-oh, fornication. Dog ugly mean with blood relatives. Oh, uh-oh, voted for George Wallace. Well, one last chance. If you can name the play, all will be forgiven. And then she'll quote, "The quality of mercy is not strained." Your answer? Oh, too bad. Merchant of Venice, Act 4, Scene 3. And then she'll send your ass to fry in hell with all the other crackers. Excuse me, please. This one's from I Hate Hamlet by Paul Rudick. I watched you on stage last night and I thought, he has worked so hard. He has put his heart and soul into this, and at least partly for me. And I just kept thinking, God, he's so bad. And I thought I would be demolished, but something happened. I mean, there were all those people coughing, and then that plane, it just flew overhead, and when there were all those mosquitoes, and you just kept on going. And I thought, what makes a hero? It's just someone who tries to do what's right despite impossible odds, like you playing Hamlet. I think you're the bravest, noblest man I have ever met. Then I thought about how I've been putting you off, and how, well, I'm just a lady in waiting. And I thought, I'm not even worthy. So you know what I decided to do? I decided to drown myself like Ophelia in Central Park Lake. Isn't that perfect? So I went behind the theater and I stood up on this rock and I braided wildflowers into my hair and I even sang Ophelia's bawdy song, but I couldn't jump in. I lost my nerve. I was so upset I came back here and I ran upstairs to the roof and I stood on the edge and stared down at the moon and I said, "Oh, Mr. Moon, you are so big and round and yellow. I know, everybody's right. I need to get some help." That one could be fun. Let me pull that to the front. This one is called Lives of the Great Waitresses by Nina Schengold. This is my first day of work. Not here, ever. My family had money, so nobody made me. I came to the city to look for a job and nobody would hire me. People think if you haven't done something before, you're an idiot. People can't... Can you hear that? What the fuck is that? People think if you haven't done something before, you're an idiot. People can't know what's inside you. You don't even know yourself till you're given a chance. Good morning.
Oh my god. Good morning. Yo.
Then all of a sudden, this new personality starts to swell under your skin, bursting through where you'd never expect it, and nothing. Wow, I totally zoned out. This is my first day of work. Not here, ever. My family had money, so nobody made me. I came to the city to look for a job, and nobody would hire me. People think if you haven't done something before, you're an idiot. People can't know what's inside you. You don't even know yourself till you're given a chance. Then all of a sudden, this new personality starts to swell under your skin, bursting through where you'd never expect it, and nothing you thought you were makes any sense, and it doesn't seem possible that you could open your eyes to the same old alarm clock and fit into the same pair of socks. I don't want to lose this. This newness, this urgent, sharp feeling that everything matters, that being good matters. I want to do everything well. I know, I'm a waitress. It's not what I dreamed of, what anyone dreams of, but I make a difference. There are lives on each stool at that counter. I touch them. I give them to quiet sensation that once in their sad, uncontrollable lives, they wanted a small thing and got it. I brought it to them. I bore them a gift, and that matters. You watch me. I'm going to be brilliant. I'm going to be one of the greats. It's gotta be construction people working on someone's broken bathroom or something. Relative Strangers by Sherry Wilner. Marie Barrett, a woman in her mid-20s, talking to a woman next to her on an airplane. They just met. The woman is in her mid-50s. The mid-50s woman has revealed that she is going through a divorce. What did you say? The mother in me, right? Wow. I'm just going to seize the opportunity, okay? Because who knows when it will ever come my way again. I'll throw out a bunch of questions, and you can answer them one at a time, or pick and choose the ones you want, whatever feels right. Just go wherever the mother in you takes you, okay? Alright, this is it. Would you definitely say it's better to breastfeed a baby? Does the fork go on the left or the right? Oh yeah, is it true you can't wear white until after Memorial Day? And should you really wait an hour after eating to swim? Oh, damn, why haven't I been writing these down? I literally have hundreds, thousands of... Oh, I know. If an invitation says, and guest... I know you must think I'm a weirdo, but I'm not. I don't have a mother, you see. It's something I'm aware of every second of the day. Like, if I didn't have any arms or legs or skin... That's so just... What the fuck? Like, if I didn't have any arms or legs or skin. She died during childbirth. They say as soon as I emerged, as soon as I took my first breath, she took her last. She really was only a vessel for me if you think about it, just like this plane. She received me She received me, tomb to a destination, and then I emerged, disembarked, and she was gone. Lame metaphor, I know, but my mind needs ways to understand, to make sense. I'm always feeling so lost, like everyone in the world has a map that I don't have. Sometimes I find I just don't know how to get around, like there's vital information I don't have access to, letters missing from my alphabet, you know? But now, all of a sudden, here you are. And I know this is lousy timing given your situation, but there's too much I need to know. So I'm just... Someone must have destroyed the fucking bathroom or something. What the hell is happening? Why are they hammering? What could they be hammering? Why would you have to hammer something? Okay, this one also has potential, I think. This one's called Skylines by David Matthew Barnes. Fed up with her snobbish neighbor, Maggie confronts the woman face to face. The year is 1965. Great. Listen here, Missy, with your overgrown sun hat and fake plants. That's right, I said fake. There isn't any water in that rusted watering can. You might fool everyone on the block with your high and mighty routine, but I see right through you, Sarah Ileton. You're not from Harmonville. You grew up on the south side of town, the wrong side of the tracks, in a house with a tin roof on it. Your father lost his job at the factory, and since then your mother has had to wait on tables at a greasy spoon just to put food on the table. You clung to Jimmy like electricity because he was your ticket out of the squalid little life that you led. He was your only one hope, your one shot at the big time. Even though the son of a bitch is dumber than a box of rocks, you laid down for him because he knew how to catch a football. He was your Kennedy, but you are certainly no Jackie, and you never will be. No matter what you say or what you do, you'll still be that dirty little girl from that run-down shack of a house who tried to marry her way out of a life of poverty. I make no excuses for who I am or where I come from. My Simon might not be much of a man, and I have to scrape and save just to get by, but at least I live an honest life, which is more than I can say for you. You prance around here like some sick version of Doris Day, all sunshine and lovey and ever clever, like you're waiting for the goddamn beaver to come home. Interesting. I could definitely play that as a comic. And then the last one is The Drunken City by Adam Bach. Why is the text so big? What the fuck? I'm not kissing you in a church. I got more important things to figure out. Be serious. You gotta help me figure this out, please. I wanted the wedding, because it's gonna be a gorgeous wedding. I'm gonna wear my mom's wedding dress. It's from 1910, and her mom wore it, and her mom's mom wore it, and it's satin with inlaid pearls. Well, not inlaid pearls, that's not the word. And I remember when I was a tiny little girl, I remember thinking, I'm gonna wear that dress, because it's gorgeous, and I'm gonna get to be looked at. Gary was just a prop. He was just, and I knew he wanted me to say yes, so I did. I just kept lying, and then worse, he suddenly changed on me. He started acting like a husband, how he thinks a husband is. The world's dangerous, and he has to protect me, and that means I have to listen to him, and he's gonna tell me what to do, and I'm gonna have to act like he tells me. He's gonna be like his dad. But his mom's this little mousy woman who never says boo. And I'm not gonna be her. But I just don't know what to say to Gary. I want to tell him the truth, I do. It's good you brought me here. I'm gonna need some help doing all this. Will you wait for me? I'm gonna go sit and be quiet for a minute. You're so sweet. I wish I'd met you before I met Gary. I don't think I'm gonna do that one because I cannot play off getting married for reasons that are hopefully obvious. This one's also kind of funny, all this intimacy. This one could be good as well. What else? Augustine's confession. Yeah, that one I could play off like I did for Eigengrau. Completeness. No. Another Eigengrau. No. That one's too short. No. Okay. Cool, cool. What is this? Nothing. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna end the stream now. I'm gonna go work on stuff.